Number 11. Yeah, the title says 10, but I like to dial it to 11. The Masked Man. He's the rising star of the manga side of AniTube. Not much is known about him, but his love of manga, especially Berserk and maybe even Naruto. Let's just hope he doesn't turn into another Double 4 anime.
Why don't I fucking take a knife and just start fucking cutting at your liver and start eating that shit? Would you like that?
Number 10. Misty X Chronexia. I know there's no X in there, but if the X fic... Now, you can't do a top 10 Anituber without mentioning the queen of top 10 animes. So that's where he comes in. Why he's been waning in his golden years, this man is still going strong with the videos he puts out. But it seems that everything that this man does sort of evolves into a meme over time. Number 9. Chippy Reviews. It might be little small-minded of me, but I can only take Chippy videos in small doses. From what little I heard of him, he has little insight to the depth of anime or manga, but to the guy's credit, he sticks to the small genre that he covers with a rather large amount of passion and content. Number 8. Dearest Ani, the token girlfriend of the anime man who deserves most of the subs she has in her own right. But we live in such a man's world, she probably doesn't get the credit that she deserves. Why she strayed away from the path of the AniTuber, much like all these other high sub count content creators within this sort of sphere nowadays, she still occasionally gives an interesting take that is more instinctual than analytical. Number 7. The Unknown Otaku. Probably really shouldn't be ahead of Aki Dearest, but there's always a man trying to keep women down, and the Unknown Otaku is just the type of AniTuber to do that. The primary reason the Unknown Otaku is included in this list is solely for his video Traps Don't Exist, and here's why. Is wrong. But he... Oh shit, wait a minute. I'm not quite sure if that's the right pronoun for the Unknown Otaku. Has other qualities that set herself... Yeah, I just checked Twitter. It's she, her. Twitter's the rules on this, so thumb the brakes. Apart from the crowd. Actually, you know what? Sorry, forget this whole section. Especially you, Twitter. Number 6. Bullseye Pop. This channel is essentially an anime essayist, or something like that, who focuses primarily on older anime, but yeah, that probably keeps him hidden from general AniTube community, and given his channel is probably derived from Boogie Pop Phantom or some older series combined, it makes sense. But his videos can tickle that nostalgia sense and get his viewers to become interested in series that are sometimes older than themselves. Bullseye Pop's content is good balance between serious, deep analysis and goofy weeb humor. Bullseye Pop is probably the most balanced AniTuber on this list, so watch him if you haven't checked him out yet. Number 5. Glass Reflection. This channel's name is reflective, see what I did there, of Glass Reflection's narcissistic personality, so I have to assume he has a translucent butt, since he has his head up his ass half the time. But all of his time there must be well spent because he knows the anatomy of anime pretty darn well and puts a lot of work into his channel. His opinions on anime are well thought out, described pretty well, and told with the smugness of a true anime elitist. Number 4. Best Guy Ever. For his video, Best Anime Ever, Tiggin, Toppin, Guggen, Loggin, yeah, I know I butchered that. Part 1. He, and this time, I am sure he's a he. Guy is right there in his title. He doesn't even need words to describe the series, though he does use them to clarify things in his part 2, which is well thought out and described quite well. But combined together, these two videos make a completed encapsulation of that particular series that I cannot pronounce very well. This channel plays around with its formats a lot of the time. Sometimes it's to its benefit and sometimes to its detriment. But chances are no two best guy ever videos in a row are going to be exactly the same format. It sort of puts him at a disadvantage that he doesn't have that habit forming formula that most YouTubers use, even the Anituber ones. Even if you haven't watched him or have no interest in him, the part 1 is definitely well worth watching. Probably in the background as I spoke. Number 3, NoxTaku. Lord Nux was a hard one to place for this list, but I really think his desire for the Zwerdo has tainted his content with some filthy normie degeneracy. So here he is at 3rd place. The era of biggest flexes seem to be diminishing, and we're moving into the weeb lore troll saga instead. NoxTaku is still putting out his occasional anime-related videos once in a while. Why, he isn't playing a trending video game or harassing other Anitubers with hentai-related themes. Otherwise, he's mostly memeing and still occasionally funny when he isn't being irritating. I consider it how I look at Seinfeld. 1 out of 3 episodes I still enjoy from him, even now. Number 2, AniNews. I really didn't want to put AniNews so high on this list, but damn if I don't find myself more interested in his videos than I should be. It seems whenever I have an interest to know more about a character, storyline, etc., there's one of his many videos. AniNews is like a virus. No, really not that one. Covering a broad to niche content related to anime. Why, yeah, really on the dry side of things like freaking burnt toast. Both in commentary and humor. He does news, as the channel applies. Cut content from the anime, mostly from light novels, but sometimes manga. In-depth character and world analysis. Anime explained. And various other nooks and crannies and goodies in the anime world that I believe makes him well deserving of the number 2 spot. Number 2, it's fitting in a lot of ways because I'm sure a lot of people will think his content is shit.
I have quite a few honorable/dishonorable mentions, but let me not take up too much of the time. You can figure out which is which. Starting off with Mother's Basement, Glass Reflections, lower tier, basement dwelling brother, better than music than him, less in depth. For an Everworld, like Chippy, but bigger in many ways, including the drama that surrounds him. Mundane Map, his stupidity hurts my head. Digibro, the Onision of anime too, but with less grooming.
That's children, by the way, although I'm sure his hygiene's worse also.
Lathe, this list's misrepresentation of smaller Anitubers who probably won't get anywhere. Jack is Boy, the asshole of the Anitube community. Tekken 101, decent content about things I really don't care about. Bitten the Sage, dumped him due to his distaste for Gans and his connection to Channel Awesome's drama and yada yada yada.
Ichiban, or number 1 for the layman. And it's the cast of Trash Taste Podcast. Giga, the anime man, and the one very few know about or care about. So it's really just the two. I just didn't want to have them both Gigu and Anime Man as the top spot, so I just sort of filled this vacancy with their podcast. Between the two, or maybe 3, they are the best representation of Anitube due to the accuracy of their taste in anime and mass appeal. You didn't think I'd forgotten about these titans of the anime community. Both of them are just so freaking obvious, I thought I would just lump them together with their podcast and be done with it. If it came between the two, Gigoog, I never know how to pronounce that name, definitely takes the cake because his content actually focuses on anime and not really the manga shit that the anime man ironically focuses on more when he's not doing some other side project like music video or etc. etc. Anime man still has his moments, but I'm really reluctant to put them as number one, but shit, I sort of have no choice. They're the biggest names. And given both of their recent content, sort of disappointment. But their story histories has cemented them as the number one AniTuber. Sorry, my other podcast is rubbing it off on me. Hope you enjoyed / hated this list. Make sure to like or dislike it depending on your disposition about this certain content. Until next time,